Indirect object pronouns. Would you be able to tell me what an indirect object pronoun is in English? Could you give me an example of one in English? Probably not. Most students don't usually remember what an indirect object pronoun is in English, so let me show you first in English. The person or the thing that answers the question for whom or for what in a sentence is your indirect object. So for example, she bought me the toy. For whom did she buy the toy? For me. So thus me is the indirect object pronoun. So what is a pronoun then? If I have another sentence, I gave the book to Maria. What did you give? The book. So the book is your direct object. And then who did you give it to, or for whom is the book? Maria. So she's your indirect object. So another way to look at indirect is you have to take two steps or ask two questions in order to get to indirect. So directly is one question, what did you give? Indirectly, who did you give it to? So that is your indirect object. What makes it a pronoun is when you replace Maria with she or her. I gave the book to her, so her would be the pronoun for Maria. Here's another example. My mother writes me every week. What did you write? It doesn't specifically state in the sentence what she wrote, but most likely it was a letter or an email. So since that is assumed, that's your direct object. So that's step number one. And your indirect object, again, answers the question, for whom did she write? She wrote them to me. So me would be your indirect object and a pronoun. So why do we even need to use indirect object pronouns? Why do we have them in English even? If we didn't replace indirect object pronouns with, or indirect objects with pronouns, we wouldn't sound fluent. So here's an example in English, and it should sound funny to you. What did you buy Maria? I bought Maria a toy. What toy did you buy Maria? I bought Maria a dinosaur. Did Maria like the dinosaur? We replace Maria with her, usually, to sound fluent, because otherwise you're saying Maria, 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 and it doesn't sound right. So we have to do that in Spanish as well in order to sound fluent. So here are all of our indirect object pronouns, which from now on I'll call IOPs. So our IOPs are me, for or to me, te, for or to you, le, for or to him, her, or you formal. Remember, you formal is when you're talking to somebody with respect. So if they're older than you, if it's your principal, if it's your boss, you want to treat them with respect, so that's your you formal. Nos, for to us. Os, that's your Spain vosotros form, for to y'all. And les is for or to them. And remember, when I say y'all, they don't really say y'all. It's just to show it's different in dialect. So just like in Texas they say y'all, it means the same thing as you guys to us. We just don't use the word y'all. Same thing. Os is used in Spain to say you guys. So I just say y'all so you understand it's a different dialect. So repeat them with me. Me, te, le, nos, os, and les. So how do we use these guys in a sentence? So if I said, I used to buy her teddy bears, so maybe it was a little girl, used to buy her teddy bears. Who did you buy them for? So remember the IOP answers who, or for whom is the teddy bear? It'd be for her. So if I look at my chart, me, te, le, nos, os, les, which one is for her? Le. Le is for her. So in the sentence it would be yo le compraba el oso de peluche. Remember, compraba, that's our imperfect that we've already learned. Let's show you again. So she buys me the dog. Here's the present tense example because she buys me currently the dog. Who did she buy it for? So for whom is the dog? For me. So in Spanish it's nicely the same, but it's pronounced me. Ella compró el perro para mí is one way to say it that doesn't use an IOP. It's just saying for me. If we wanted to use the IOP, it would be ella me compró el perro, which is actually, I put that in past tense. She bought the dog for me. Ella me compró el perro. She bought me the dog. For positioning, you have to think like Yoda. So if you have to write this big in your notes, you want to be like Yoda when you are doing IOP. So how does Yoda talk? He kind of flips the words, so for him, I bought it, etc. So IOP, it sounds weird to us in English, but it comes before the verb, always comes right before the verb. So an example, instead of she bought the toy for me in English, it would be for me, she bought the toy. So try to think like Yoda when you're positioning your IOP in your sentence. So here's an example of all forms. Juan me compra un juguete. Juan me buys a toy, right? He buys a toy for me. Juan te compra un regalo is Juan buys you a gift. So te, remember, goes right in front of the verb. Juan le compra un regalo. Juan buys her or him a gift. And Juan nos compra un regalo. He buys us a gift. Remember, nos comes right before the verb. Juan os compra un regalo. So that'd be the Spain form. Juan buys y'all a gift. And Juan les compra un regalo. Juan buys them a gift. So you can see it in every form, and it always comes right before the verb. So let's see some more examples. So you guys try these on your own and see if you can do it. So they used to buy me dinosaurs. So remember, what would be your indirect object pronoun in that sentence? For whom did they buy the dinosaurs? For me. So that would be your indirect object. Where does your indirect object go? In front of the verb. So you want that to be before buy when you make your Spanish sentence. Number 2, she always used to tell you the truth. We didn't let her lie for number 3. And I used to tell stories to my parents. So if you are doing this at home, you want to make sure you're looking at your imperfect notes, because all of these are in perfect sentence because we used to do these things. So look at your imperfect notes, and also these are vocab words from chapter 4A when you were a kid. So be using those 2 resources as you're trying to work through 1 through 4. So give number 1 a try first, and I'll show you the examples after I give you some time. And you can always pause the video if I'm going too fast. Number 2, she always used to tell you the truth. Who did she always tell the truth to? You. So there's your indirect object, and it's a pronoun because it's you. So that should go in front of your verb, which is used to tell. So again, the whole used to tell will be an imperfect of the verb to tell. Again, pause the video if I'm going too fast. We didn't let her lie. What didn't we let her do? Or sorry, we didn't let her lie. For who didn't we let lie? Her. So see, that's a tricky one. So her should go before didn't let. So let's see how you did. Let's look at the answers. So it should be, ellos me compraban dinosaurios. They, me, bought, or used to buy, dinosaurs. Ella siempre te decía la verdad. Ella always, or she always, you told the truth, right? So she always told you the truth. No le permitíamos mentir. We didn't let her, remember her comes right before the verb, lie. Yo les contaba cuentos a mis padres. I used to tell stories to them, to my parents. And you can have both the IOP and be specific on who you're talking about. So yo les contaba cuentos a mis padres, and les are the same. So there you go. And again, you can always try more of these out online at the textbook website or my website or conjuguemos.com. All right, thanks. Bye.